hear the music, but...
Live from the bunker, Berlin, get ready for the Richard P. Dick Van Johnson Show.
Hello! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Here we are in the bunker once again. I'm your host, Richard P. Dick Van Johnson, and this is my show. You know, I used to play in big theaters, on big TV networks, with big audiences, full of big smiles. And now it's just you and me. Welcome to Richard P. Dick Van Johnson, live from the bunker. Thank you. There's nobody here. There's nobody here. So welcome. This is the show. For those of you that haven't watched before, it's a fantastic show where I give you the pressing news from the bunker, interviews with rock stars, live music performances, comedy gold, everything that you could possibly want for on a Wednesday evening, or 6 a.m. if you're watching in Australia. Those are real big fans of me down there, down under. So it's a wonderful show. We got a beautiful program lined up for you this evening. That's right. We have an erotic, exotic, electronic producer and rapper called Hadas Hinkis. She'll be coming up later. We have a fantastic comedian all the way from London. That's right. And we have a schmuck. Yeah, you know, it's not all killer. We got a little bit of filler. So we got a schmuck coming up. His name's Old Mate. He's an old mate of mine. You know how it is with the boys club. Got to put him on. So yeah, full program. Should be lots of fun. So a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. Not that I do housekeeping, you know, it's more of a wife thing. Oh, she didn't like that. Okay, so a little bit of housekeeping. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. When you get to 1,000 subscribers, I get magic powers, according to YouTube. And I'm just 120 subscribers away, so please subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, please hit that share button right now. And then you can watch this show with your friends. And tomorrow, when you're sitting around doing nothing because you got no job, you can talk about how wonderful the show was, reminisce about your favorite moments, discuss the politics in the bunker, and listen to some music from our fabulous guests and their podcasts. Fantastic. So just to get us warmed up here, you know, I like to get to know you a little bit better. I feel like you're my family. I wanted to give you some tips, romantic tips from me. Some people say, you know, Richard, you've been married for a long time. How do you keep it together? How do you keep things spicy in the bunker? Just you and the wife, 24/7, every day, for several months. No other human contact. How do you keep it sexy? Well, let me tell you, we like to explore with some kinky stuff, you know. The wife, she often has some kinky requests for me. And, you know, they're not always so clear. I'm, you know, not super experienced in these things, but I love her so much. I try to please her. So she asked me the other day, you know, for something special, something a bit kinky. I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but it sounded Japanese. So I thought that might be a fun thing to try for change. So I went to the store and I got some ex-army jackets, and I sewed them all together. And they had this like camouflage print on them. And when they were sewed together, I cut a couple of holes in them. And then to surprise her, I got on the bed and I put the army jacket over my head and I looked through the holes in the eyes and I waved my arms around and I jumped up and down on the bed and I said, "Boo! Boo!" Yeah, and then the wife, she says to me, Richard, you schmuck. I said I wanted to try bukkake. Yeah, I don't know so much about colors. I thought kaki's popular in the army. But turns out that bukkake might be popular in the army as well. So, I was halfway there. Shout out to our guests. If you've got a message for me, feel free to drop a little comment down there. Last week, a guest suggested I would look handsome with a mustache. I've got just 1 week's growth here. Not sure if I should keep growing it. Not sure if it suits me. Let me know what you think. I might shave it off for next week. Let's see. Oh, another guest asked, Richard P. Dick Van Johnson, what does the P stand for? He guessed, he had a very good guess. He guessed phallus. That's a fallacy. It is, in fact, penis. Thank you. Thank you, Georg. Okay, so yeah, let's have some fun. Our first guest is on the line. Very exciting. Her place of origin is London, and she is a funny lady. She's a stand-up comedian, but not just any ordinary stand-up comedian. Oh, no. She is a post-colonial comedian. Not sure what that means. I think she's got some tips on like digestion and how you can improve your colonial health down there. But let's get her on the line and ask. Yeah, so I know you have a video channel where you've been making muesli. Is that related to the post-colonial health that you're promoting?
Yeah, I mean, I had some very wise advice, which was to have a high fiber diet during this time.
Very important.
Yeah, that's where I decided to make, granola.
Excellent. And you actually have a range of different recipes on your page. Kate Vid, is that right?
Yeah.
Now, for those of you
Kate
playing
Vid
at home,
19.
I didn't get it. Kate Vid, it sounds like COVID, and vid stands for video. That's clever, isn't it?
Pretty clever.
So Kate, as a post-colonial comedian, I hear you have your own show that you produce called Woke Panties. Now, I'm very
Yes.
familiar with panties, and I like them a lot. But I don't fully understand this young people term, woke. Could you explain to us, is the idea that the audience like doesn't fall asleep from boring performers, or?
I mean, yeah, that would be ideal if the audience didn't fall asleep from boring performers. We just like to think that we're girls, we're women, and what do women attract people with? Their panties. But we're smart women. We're on the ball. We're awake. We know shit, and that's why we're woke. And these are woke panties. We're there,
Okay.
we're sexy but smart.
So smart girls use sex to sell, because I heard that's a
Yes.
smart thing to do.
Yes, it is a smart thing to do. It's hard now, like we have to do digital sex selling, but we're working on it. We're working.
Yeah, I'm hard now too, thinking about that. Was that woke?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
pretty
good,
woke.
good.
Sure.
Good to know I'm up to date. I know my show business training's from the 50s, so sometimes I gotta catch up. Hey, have you seen the film Pulp Fiction?
I haven't.
You heard the one about the baby tomato, and he's really slow, and the daddy tomato's like going a bit faster, and he says, hurry up, and the baby tomato's still really slow, and then the daddy tomato goes back and he smashes the baby tomato and squishes him up and squishes him to nothing. And then he says, ketchup.
Oh, that is good. Yeah.
You looked a little worried there for a second.
I don't know. It seems violent. If there's some violence in that.
Not very
story.
woke.
Yeah, that's not woke.
You're a non-violent comedy show? That's unusual.
Yeah, that's is it? What shows it? Oh, right. Yeah, you're
Oh,
from the past.
comedy, cage match, comedy,
Mm,
death metal, circle of violence. These shows.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe a roast is quite a violent one, but it's
Oh, there
hard to
you
do
go.
roasts
Very
virtually.
violent. They're like
Yeah.
burning each other's skin at a high
Yeah.
temperature.
Yeah. Sometimes they have a spit that they turn, while it happens. You get
They
pulled
turn the
with the mic.
spit. They spit on each other. That's dirty.
It's dirty time, and we don't do that, virtually. It's just us slandering people online instead.
Yeah, kids these days, lazy.
Lazy.
Now,
Don't even
speaking of
want
dirty, other
to.
than your panties, do you have any other shows or career highlights that you'd like to share with the viewers at home?
Um, Career highlights. I was on the radio back at BBC, known around the world, BBC.
Yeah, what
Back
does it
in the
stand
day.
for?
Um,
Big Broad Commission?
yeah, the Big Broad Commission, big blah. No, something to do with Britain, I think. I don't know.
Big Black what?
Maybe just don't Google BBC outside of safe word mode in Google.
Okay, good tip.
Mhm.
Good tip.
It's not a term for
Thank you
porn.
for just the tip you gave us then. I heard you also performed in many different countries,
Yeah.
including Kathmandu. How was that?
Well, that's a city, not a country, but it was good. Yeah, it was good. While I was there, I obviously referred to the place as Cape Mandu because I like to make
Uh-huh.
fun puns with my name. Um, but yeah, I went and did comedy in Nepal. Too weirdly, a
So
lot
it
of
was a very
German
high
people.
altitude comedy show. Were all the comedians high or?
Yeah, well, I don't want to speak for all of them, but I was, yeah, for sure. I'm always
Fantastic.
happy.
And high on life
Yeah,
or
yeah, maybe.
high on jazz cigarettes
Jazz, cigarettes, life, all of the
and
things.
altitude? That's what
Altitude,
we
yeah.
call a triple threat. Speaking of threats, oh no, actually, I wasn't going to threaten you.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about my horoscope, which does have horror
Oh,
in the name, but I
yeah.
was hoping for some positive news.
Yeah, so the outlook is bright today. Your horoscope. What star sign are you? I just want to.
Oh, starfish.
The starfish. Okay, the starfish. I guess that's between somewhere like close to the Pisces thing. I dated a Pisces guy recently, and I said that's not good because I'm a Leo. And I was like, and he was like, why is that not good? And I was like, well, lions don't fuck with fish. We're better than that. Um,
Is that
but the
why nobody
starfish,
dates cancers?
yeah, no one wants a fucking crab in their life, do they? Mm-mm-mm.
Itchy.
Mm-mm-mm. Gee. Okay, yeah, so horoscope for today. It is yeah, go and get some exercise.
Okay. What are you
Very
saying here?
specific.
Like, I don't look like a fit guy?
I'm not saying that. The planets are saying that.
Okay. Why I oughta. So it was a threat. I was right in the first place. Okay, so Kate, I feel like we know
Yeah.
know each other a little bit now. We're friends, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about your personal life because now we know you're a high-flying comedian traveling the world on BBC, on the
Yeah.
mountains in Kathmandu. Apparently that's a city. Don't know what those mountains are called, but they're pretty famous, I think. Anyway, so I think your fans probably want to know a little bit more about your personal life, your living situation, your dating situation, any exciting romantic news or tips for your fans at home?
My tip is to don't quarantine with a non-sexual gay throuple that you've just met before.
That's very specific.
hmm That would be my advice. Don't do it. Don't do it. And you think you want to because you know what? It's a fun time. And you were talking that your wife would like, is interested in some Japanese stuff. And I found out that shibari is not some bitch, but is actually some rope bondage. So if your wife says she wants to invite shibari into the bedroom, just FYI, it's not another woman. Don't get your hopes up.
Okay.
So I would say it looks like fun, but don't do it. It's not going to end well for you. You're going to have to return home.
Yeah, the rope burn sounds painful.
Yeah.
And what if there's a fire? How will we get out off the balcony?
If we're tied to the balcony.
Well,
That
if
is
we
the
used up
thing.
all the rope. I don't know if you're an exhibitionist, you can tie yourself to the balcony. I was going to do it in the bedroom,
I will
but
be doing that,
each
yeah.
to their own. No judgment.
Yeah, if you come past the house tomorrow morning, I will tie myself on the balcony.
Okay, what's your address again?
102 London Road.
Okay. 102 Fake Street, was that?
It's round the corner from there. How did you know? You're mad.
Ah! Great, I know that street. I get pizza delivered there pretty often. Okay.
Why?
Why? I don't like pizza. I don't like pizza delivery people. Waste their time for fun, That's the kind of guy I am. An asshole. You get it. You get it.
I get it.
Okay, so just to finish up, thank you for sharing the personal information about the gay non-sexual throuple that you were dating.
Yes.
I mean, to be honest, I think anything that has non-sexual in the title doesn't sound that fun, but each to their own. And you're also somewhat an expert on love in the time of Corona. Is that right?
I am. I'm trying to be an expert now. I have a podcast. I'm just trying to work it out because, it's different all around. There's some people falling apart, and then my friend Tim called me up the other day, and he's talking to 6 different women on Tinder at the moment. One of them made him a bath time playlist. I just want to know why I can't get that kind of love in my life. It just
A
proves
bath
that
time
you can get
playlist?
play. Yeah.
Is that Japanese or?
I don't even know what it is, but he
No,
wasn't
that's
a
for
fan.
toilets.
Yeah. You have a playlist for your toilet time?
No, not me. The Japanese. They have very
Oh.
sophisticated toilets. They can play
They
music
do.
and everything. It's
They do. They can
so
live
people can't hear
stream.
you poop. It's a great innovation. You ever tried one of those?
I've never been to Japan.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's pretty great, but one thing that's slightly confronting for those who may not be used to it is they have very advanced, very powerful bidets, also with drying function. So actually, that's really useful in times like these when there's toilet paper shortages and this sort of thing. You don't have to go without creature comforts. In fact, it's like 10 times better than toilet paper because it washes, it dries, and then it moisturizes, I believe.
I love it. It moisturizes you as well.
Very advanced.
Very
So I
advanced.
recommend you look that up.
See, they knew, they predicted it. Yeah,
Sorry?
I'll get one of those ordered.
Yeah, in fact,
My
if you're listening at home and you're a sophisticated toilet seat maker, you can just email me at hello@duckylarange.com and we can do some kind of partnership deal. As you can see, I'm making your product look really good, so My people will talk to your people. I mean, there's no one else except for me, but you get the picture. Okay, sorry about that, Kate.
No worries.
Just doing a little business.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank
Do you have
for
any
having me.
parting words of advice for the viewers at home before we move on?
Do I have any parting words of advice? Yeah. Just because, you know, he can't go nowhere, don't mean he can't cheat.
Okay, thanks for the advice. I was hoping for something positive to, finish the segment on, but horses for courses. I'll take what I can get. Thanks for coming on the show, Kate, and good luck. I'll see you on the balcony tomorrow morning, 102 London Road, I think that was, for anybody that's playing at home. All right, fantastic. So I should take a moment to mention, like the aisles at the supermarket, where the toilet paper should be, my bank account is totally empty. So if you're enjoying the show and you like the artists that are on here and you want to support us, there's a little link you can see down there. And if you want to donate some money to me, there's a really cool thing we can do, which is make it rain. So if you donate live on the show, we'll actually make it rain over the screen and it'll disrupt whatever I'm doing. So that'll be fun for you. And it'll be fun for me because I'll know I have an extra $5, which is how much cans of beans cost nowadays. And I'm down to my last can of beans. The wife is not happy. So, anyhow, I do try and keep my wife happy. I try and buy the stuff she likes at the supermarket, but it's tough. Women, they have all these different products, and for me, one spice, it's the same as another. I don't know. They're all just like colored powders as far as I'm concerned. And this is a true story, but my wife asked me to go get some cumin when I was at the supermarket, which I tried to do. But she got really mad at me because I came home with what was in fact yeast. And now instead of coming, she got a yeast infection. So yeah, she won't be in such a thrush next time she writes a shopping list. It's tough for us guys. All these powders, they look the same. Okay, so up next, it's a very old friend of mine. His name is Old Mate. He's my mate, and he's old. I'll just check that he's ready. One moment. Okay, I think that's what they refer to on the radio as dead time, which is bad because death is not funny at all. Okay, here he is. G'day. Yeah, g'day. My name's Old Mate. Just wanted to tell you, I was watching on the telly that actually since everybody's been on lockdown, there's nobody going to the zoo. And, the zoo's not essential, but the animals ain't going nowhere and they're running out of stuff to eat because there's not enough customers to pay the bills at the moment. This is true. So that's quite tough, actually. And the zoos, they're threatening people that you should donate money to the zoo, or how are they going to feed the carnivores? Let me unpack this for you. It's not so simple. Basically, without any money, they can't buy food for the carnivores. And with no visitors, they can't feed the grandkids to lions and tigers no more. Okay, so what's the solution? They have to feed the smaller animals to the bigger animals. Yes, that's right, folks. It's tough times at the zoo. It's basically battle royale out there at the moment. And how are they actually deciding which animals will live and which animals will die? Like, is it battle royale style? And, the platypus has got like an AK-47, but the lemur got a bad deal and he's just got a frying pan and they're going to fight it out? Well, no, actually, they said the extinct animals are going to be okay, so that's all right. The pandas should be fine. Probably the expensive animals are going to be okay, so the multicolored liger should be all right. Also, probably the really cute animals, you know, they won't grind them up and feed them to the other animals, so I guess the meerkats will be all right. Then again, the meerkats do all look pretty much the same. And so maybe things aren't looking so good for Timon after all that. And let's face it, Pumbaa's pretty much bacon already. So, yeah, not so Disney at the moment anymore. Also, for sure, all the lame animals in the kids section are gone, just gone. So like bunny rabbits, the cows, the sheep. I mean, to be fair, they're already food. Also, the unpopular animals like the howler monkey that just spends its time screaming nonstop and hurling its own shit at people. That's for sure gone. The animals that like are having a feud with the Polish zookeeper and he has a grudge against them, like the long-standing unresolved rivalry between him and the honey badger. In fact, did you know the name for the Terminator in Polish is the robotic murderer? You're welcome. That's what they call that asshole honey badger around there, so watch out. I mean, personally, for like, I don't know about you guys at home. Maybe you can drop a comment of which animals you think should go first. Personally, I'm not that into the naked mole rat. I think we could probably get rid of them. Although they do look like scarily like my penis. So it makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable that they might be tiger snacks. But, you know, also, if the zoo has, this is what they said, by the way, this is not coming from old mate, this is what the zoo said. If you've got 11 deer, you know, maybe people are not going to notice if we're missing deers number 4, 5, and 7. So sorry, Bambi. If your family survived the bushfires in Australia, it's not looking good. Maybe your mum's out for some post-Disney level shit this time. Nah, anyway, she'll be all right. Take a leaf out of the Tiger King's book. You know, plenty of expired meats at the supermarket. That should tide us over until this is all finished. That's all from me, old mate. Let me know which animals you'll sacrifice and I'll pass that on to the zoo. Take care of yourselves. Hooroo. All right, thank you, old mate. So good to have a local, he's my roommate actually. Really good to have a local guest here on the show. Any comments come in? I'd like to let him know which, okay, no. My wife is saying no, as if that was like a really bad taste joke and nobody wants to participate because the idea of killing some of the zoo animals and feeding them to other zoo animals is really macabre. I didn't make that up. The zoo made that up. So you write your complaint letters to them. Anyway, on that note, you can donate to the show or you can donate to the zoo. Your choice. You have the evidence now. So, on to our next guest. We have a wonderful guest up next. She is in fact a rock star from Israel, a multi-talented rock star. She produces her own beats, she raps, she designs her own costumes, she makes sculptures and costumes out of latex, and her personal life is also incredibly saucy. Please, ladies and gentlemen, and other at home, welcome onto the show, the phenomenal Hadas Hinkis. Hello. Hello, Hadas. Can you hear me? I think you need to put your earphone. Yeah, great. You have a house on your head. That's fun.
I was stuck in the house, sorry.
I see. You're playing it extra safe.
Yes, double layered.
Do you know why Irishmen wear 2 condoms?
No.
To be sure.
You'll have to explain that to me later.
Oh, it's just doesn't mean anything. It's just a thing Irish people say. They say, to be sure, to be sure. It's like an Irish expression for saying yes, basically.
You learn something every day, I guess.
Anyway, I just thought with the 2 houses and the safety, 2 condoms, it's like 2
Yeah,
condoms
2
in your
condoms
head.
is sometimes necessary, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess it depends how adventurous you are.
Yes, and what you're sticking into where.
More on that
But we can
later.
talk about it later. Exactly.
Okay, so you're a rock star, I believe. Can you tell us a little bit about your music, how you got started, and where you're headed?
Yeah. So I've been making music for about 20 years now. But I kind of stopped like 10 years ago to perform and everything. I just did stuff for the drawer.
So you
And then I
started
did a
when you
ton
were
of other
around
stuff.
5 years old?
Well, more like 20 years old. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while. But I'm not, of course, as experienced as you are, Richard.
In what
In life.
area?
In life.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
what they all say,
Yeah.
the women.
And then I stopped doing music for about 10 years or performing and stuff like that. And now I'm doing a comeback.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Have you got some new releases coming out soon?
I do. Thank you for asking. In about 1 month, I'm going to have my single released, which is with a video, which we shot at this amazing place with my colleagues, the Studio Looks, which we can talk about later. I'm going to do that song also later. So.
Okay, amazing. What's your first song inspired by?
This song is about being stuck at home. It's about the coronavirus.
I heard this is quite on trend at the moment. Is there a reason so many people are thinking about staying at home and being at home and doing nothing and just watching Netflix or my show, ideally, instead?
Yeah, you haven't been updated for a year now on the news, right?
I've been stuck in here for quite some time.
Yeah, me too. Well, being stuck indoors, it's very creative. You can write songs. And
And sometimes inspiration strikes.
Sometimes.
Now you got a beautiful look here. I can see a lot of spheres. I can see a lot of shininess.
Oh, did you see my little pet here?
What is that? Looks like the back of a mop.
Well,
oh, looks like a sea anemone. Oh, feather duster.
This is a very cute little sex toy that I designed. So you can stick your little Richard in there and it's going to feel really good.
My little Richard.
Yeah.
How'd you know what my wife calls it?
Just a wild guess. So I make these little things as well.
Okay. Is it slimy? Looks slimy.
You got to make it very slimy if you want to stick your Richard in there. Yeah.
Same as most people, to be honest.
Yeah. You got to make it a little slimy. It's just physics, I guess.
I think I was onto something when I said sea anemone. I feel like there's a lot of sort of oceanic liquid movement in this. I don't know why I'm doing this. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think you got it. I think you're onto it. Yeah. That's
Fabulous.
the vibe.
So
very sea creature.
You made this sex toy. You've designed the look. Now let's hear the music.
All right. Gonna sing you a little song. I'm braiding my hair like I keep my bed out of bed, bug bye. Readying myself and I'm heading for a good flight. I'm reading my thoughts and I'm hitting no red line. No, no, no. So I said to myself, can't do, can't fly. Free all venom cause a lemon will suffice. Reading my daily from the lane and white lies. I serve my sauce cause I heard you like spice. See? Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, I'll take this corona demise to be a flirt in my mind, to be the best in my house, to be myself in great size. I will collect gratitude and give you some attitude. I seek my own latitude. These are days detached, refrain. I stockpile and obtain, abstain and lock a domain. Intensive care in my vanity, port sanity, invert, exasperate. The rest of risk is mitigated. Whoop! Some digital loop in a bachelorette coupe. So dopey she gon' droop. Elope to the tropical fruit. I'm ready for recession, resuscitation. Receive my recess past vacation.
Wow, fantastic. I think that's the first time I heard a super hot song about recession. So congratulations on winding that in there, making it really relevant to our economic situation.
Yeah, gotta be ready for some recession once in a while.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of regressions, I believe for the folks at home, this is actually a big moment for Hadas. She's coming out. If you're ready, she's coming out. So congratulations, Hadas, on being gay.
I'm actually very, very straight. Well, hetero-flexible, we would say.
What are you coming out on then?
Right. So I am coming out about being a dominatrix. Or about being a sex worker.
Absolutely.
Well, all my friends know it anyway, but I am actually writing it on my website and stuff like that, and I wrote a song about it because I think it's important to talk about it. I mean, if nobody was out of the closet being gay, then gay rights would not be possible because everybody would think, oh, somebody else is gay that I don't know. But the more we come out as sex workers, if it's possible, for me it's possible, then the more society can change the minds and stigma about this, because it's not cool to make fun of gay people. It's not cool to make fun of almost nobody anymore, except for prostitutes. You can always make a joke about a prostitute, right? I'm sure you do that all the time.
I tend to make some jokes and then feel deep regrets afterwards. So I'm not the best judge of that, unfortunately. But that is very brave of you. So congratulations. And there certainly is a lot of taboo and a lot of mystery around sex work. For example, you must be somewhat an expert with your clients. And can you tell, for example, just by looking at them, what they're into?
No, I can guess, but usually it doesn't work very well.
Would you guess?
Okay, well, I would guess actually that the P in your name is not really standing for what you said before. I think it stands for something else. And I'm not sure you know what I mean. But actually, it stands just for P.
Well, when I said I was a big enthusiast of chickpeas, I didn't mean hummus. Now, I think as a Israeli dominatrix, you'd know about both of those things.
Yes, I know very much about both of those things, indeed.
Do you think they go well together? Hey, it's raining. You know
Thank
what
you.
that means? That means someone made a
Is it right?
donation. Thank you so much. We very much
Yeah, that's
appreciate that.
beautiful.
Speaking of donations and commerce, recessions, regressions, and the economy, I used to have a big show, really big show. Nobody remembers it, but it was much bigger than my living room here. And I've had to digitalize, like many people these days. So I was wondering, is it possible for you to digitalize with your sex work, or you're waiting around for the dungeon to reopen?
Right. The dungeon is closed, very much closed. I work in this amazing dungeon in Berlin, Studio Lux. It's amazing. But of course, it's closed. So I do once in a while Skype sessions or like video sessions.
Excuse me one moment. Skype, I believe it's owned by Microsoft. If you'd like to sponsor us, we're giving you some fantastic publicity at the moment on alternative uses for Skype, or arguably the primary use of Skype. Who are we kidding? So please get in contact. hello@duckielorange.com with your proposal. Thank you so much. Continue.
Yes. So I have some old clients that call me up, and then I know what they want, and it's great. And then I have some new people that just want to do like 10, 15 minutes on Skype, which means what we just see each other. They're already super horny. Ah! It's like in 2 minutes it's finished. But
Wow, that's the
I need
same
to
as me.
entertain them in this time.
It's like looking into a mirror.
They're already on the edge. They're already there. They just need somebody to push them off the edge.
So, for example, like me, now I'm doing digital shows. I don't wear pants. I guess you don't need to wear pants for your online.
I'm having a little issue here. Yeah.
No worries.
Pants. It all really depends on what the person likes me to wear.
So as a twist, if they didn't want you to wear pants, but they can't see you below the navel, you could just wear pants for fun.
Yeah, I could just wear the dirtiest, most unsexy pants, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Although that probably some people would be very into as well. Like our last guest actually was really into dirty panties, I believe. Or I could just be slandering her. I think we have some comments coming in from the audience.
Yes.
The question is your outfit a musical instrument?
Yeah, actually, because one ball fell and it made a really great sound effect during the song. I don't know if you noticed.
Amazing, multi-dimensional, multi-talented artist with a wearable instrument. That's innovative.
Thank you, Liliana.
Absolutely. Multi-talented. We've got comments coming in down there. They're fantastic. The audience is just gagging for more, which I guess you're used to these days. Just before we move on, I'd like to hear, though, have you had any challenges? I mean, we've had a lot of technical difficulties getting the show up and running with different technological platforms and experimenting and stuff. Has it been always so smooth for you?
Well, with the Skype sessions, you mean?
Yeah.
I've had like I've had a really interesting request the last few days. It's a guy, he wrote me that okay, let's have a Skype session or a phone session. I like wearing women's underwear. I like humiliation. I like diapers, and I like food. And I was like, okay.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. But okay. So, as a dominatrix, you're not supposed to ask, oh, what do you mean? You're supposed to know everything, right? You always like fake it till make it. You're like, oh,
Same
you're
as
into
TV presenters.
pony play. I don't really know what that is, but let's do it, And if you have a whole session, then you have a little bit of time to do a little Google research, or I mean, I had time for Google, but you have you can ask a little bit, you can just like kind of probe and say, hey, what you, yeah, oh, you mean that or something. I couldn't do that because he just wrote me an email. So I was like, okay, let's just you wear women's underwear. And we did a session, humiliated him. Great. The next day he writes me, oh, let's do it again. And I would really like if you could, if we could do my other fetishes, which is diapers and food. And I was like, okay, I can do diapers.
I don't know
I was
how
like,
many
okay,
baby
so you are
showers you've been to.
Yeah.
But
I
those
was like,
two things go together. Those women are crazy. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's a baby shower game where it's a punishment. So, for example, if you cross your legs or you say the name of the mother, you have to eat chocolate, smushed up chocolate out of a baby diaper. It's incredibly disgusting.
Is this really a thing? I never heard about it.
This is not a kink. This is a tradition to celebrate motherhood.
Right. Interesting.
Anyway, continue.
Maybe that's what he wanted. I don't know. But anyway, I told him, okay, so wear a diaper. And I can do diaper. Cool. And he's like, I don't have a diaper. Okay, so we're left with food. And I ask him, so I write him an email. Like, you're not supposed to do it. You're not supposed to write somebody, hey, what does that mean that you want to play with food? Like, what do you want? Like, stick it up your ass? You want to rub it on your face? You want me to like squish it in my feet and then you eat it? Like, all these things are very possible. But what do you mean? So he wrote me back. He said, I want you to decide what I'm going to have for lunch. That was it. So if you have any tips, what he should have for lunch, we have a session tomorrow. Probably sausages, I was thinking, right?
Bratwurst, they're sexy.
I think a banana or a pudding or something like that would be more humiliating. But I don't know.
Like a blood pudding?
Like some kind of a
sticky day
disgusting, I don't know, like a baby pudding or yeah, maybe baby food is what he wants.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Food. He'll love that.
I don't know. It's got to be humiliating, I guess. I don't understand.
Okay, I think we got a comment. What does that say there? I don't know.
Veganism.
Oh, veganism. It's always fun to make fun of them. Yeah, just making me vegan food. That'll be really humiliating.
Yeah. Something vegan. I don't know. I don't get it. But thank goodness I get paid in advance, so I can fuck it up later. That's okay.
All right. Well, more power to you and have fun.
Thank you.
I'm going to hand over now. I'd love to hear your next song, which I know is related to your profession. So please take it away with your next song, Hadas Hinkis.
Yay! Thank you.
Oh.
Coming. A little bit of an old school vibe, this one. I lost the ball. That's bad. Baby, it's no worry if we're not complacent. We were given freedom, but we shouldn't waste it. It took all the time that it took to make it. It took all the people that it took to make it. I don't want his job, but I like his pages. I can do his job, but I like his wages. I just count the money, I don't count no pages. I just count the money and I count erections. When his dick is hard, I'm in charge. It's a ball in the park. It's a ball in the park, in the park. It's a ball in the park, in the park. It's a piece of cake, a piece of tart. It's a ball in the park, in the park. It's a goal I score, I got it in the bag. It's something I always wanted in the bag. It's a goal I score, I got it. Boy, I got some stories cause I go to places. How can one be shy when one got golden braces? Flying EasyJet but sleep in 5-star spaces. He pay me the money cause her place spacious. I take all the bills even if bills ancient. Cause I got the drill, I don't care what his age is. I don't care the stage of his life, I won't gauge it. Hand this party over cause I know how to engage it. When his dick is hard, I'm in charge. It's a ball in the park. It's a ball in the park, in the park. It's a ball in the park, in the park. It's a piece of cake, a piece of tart. It's a ball in the park, park. It's a goal score, I got that in the bag. It's something I always wanted in the bag. It's a goal score, I got it in the bag.
Bravo, bravo, fantastic. Oh, you couldn't see my amazing dance moves, unfortunately, but they really pale in comparison to the way you shake those balls. It's
Dance
much
with me.
sexier than the way I shake my balls.
You're not wearing any pants, too bad I can't see them.
I'll slip into your DMs later.
Alright. Give me a Richard pick.
Hey, don't show my secret. I didn't know there was a second camera. What is this? My wife. She's really into humiliation.
When they pay me, what can I get? Well, in the name of sanity, I'll be causing him pain. Cause I count no ages, count no races, count no embraces. I know he places. He counting on me for subspaces. Drive him to the pit and I spit on his faces. Hand his body over cause I know how to engage it. The dick is so sweet, so sweet. Yeah, I know how to ingest it.
Wow.
So this one
Amazing.
is coming out with a video clip. If you subscribe to my YouTube, you'll see it. Or if you go to my Instagram, which is Hadas Hinkis, you'll find me.
Fantastic. I think a lot of the fans at home will absolutely love to see that. And I think they would absolutely love to see this. Good timing. Thanks for the like. Now, if that ain't worth a donation, I don't know what is. Isn't that the most curvaceous and feminine bottom half of a TV show host that you've ever seen?
It's absolutely lovely.
Thank you. That was bopping around for your whole set, guaranteed.
I'd like to take a bite, and I need a little Richard pick, please.
Okay. Actually, for those at home, if you are interested, you can send your unsolicited clit pics direct to me at unsolicitedclitpics@gmail.com. We'll get that popping up on screen. They're not solicited, so please don't send them to me. But if you did want to spontaneously do that, unsolicitedclitpics@gmail.com. Yes, I really did register that address just in case. Maybe. So you send me yours, I'll send you mine.
We can do some sexting later.
Absolutely. Let's get this show moving along.
All right,
Okay.
baby.
Thank you so much for coming on the
Thank
show.
you.
All the best. And we'll post links to your single. Good luck with it.
Thank you.
Ciao. All right. So we've had 3 amazing guests on the show this evening. It's been really wonderful. I have just one last segment for you guys at home. Now, my wife, she's very heavily invested in what we call these days bunker news.
Are you ready for? Are you ready for? Are you ready for? Are you ready for the bunker news?
Well, are you? Because let me tell you, folks at home, it's pretty exciting here in my bunker. Yeah, I got a lot of positive feedback the last few weeks on my bunker news, and especially the subsection plant news. So actually, this is super exciting, folks at home. Actually, we have a lot of flowers at the moment, which is really amazing. And I'd love to show you. Our petunias are in bloom, so that's pretty cool. You see that there? Big old flowers. And In future bunker news, I think we got another flower that's gonna open up there. So that's really cool. That's been keeping us occupied. But that's not all. The big reveal. We have a really fantastic, incredible, beautiful, erotic flower. Yeah, this is really gonna amaze you guys. Okay, so you ready for it? Wowza. Now you thought that pink thing was a flower. This is a flower. Yeah, wow, says Roseanne at home there. Okay, now my wife tells me these are called lady slippers on account of them looking like lady slippers. But I call them huge vulvas on account of them looking like huge vulvas. So that's pretty cool. Who would have thought plant news would get so hot? All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the show. It's really been a wonderful Wednesday night. We are here Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Central European Standard Time. Just a little reminder for those of you who might like to make a contribution. My wife would be so happy with me if I had a little income. You can donate simply by clicking the link below right here. Give us a little donation, show us a bit of love. We would so much appreciate that so we can keep the lights on here at Richard P. Dick Van Johnson, live from the bunker. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and other good night.